Professor Humphrey Ojwang is a distinguished academic, intellectual, researcher, social critic, and civil rights activist whose work embodies the spirit of Pan-Africanism. Professor Ojwang previously served as a senior research fellow and head of the thematic unit on language, culture, and society at the Institute of African Studies, University of Nairobi, Kenya. He is currently an honorary professor of anthropology, ethnobotany, and linguistics at the Institute of Traditional Medicine, Muhimbili, University of Health and Allied Sciences, Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. With a career spanning for over 3 decades, Professor Ojwang has established himself as a leading voice in African studies, contributing significantly to the agenda of African unity, sovereignty, and cultural renaissance. Born in Kenya, Professor Ojwang's early life was shaped by the rich cultural heritage of the Luo people, which nurtured him into the oral traditions and histories of his community, marking the journey for his lifelong passion for African culture and history. Pursued his undergraduate studies at the University of Nairobi, where he majored in history and political science, graduating with first-class honors among other academic achievements, where he focused on intellectual history of Pan-Africanism. His research has been pivotal in challenging Eurocentric narratives and advocating for the decolonization of African knowledge systems. He has published extensively on topics such as African political thought, cultural identity, and the impact of colonialization on African societies. His seminal work, Reclaiming Africa: The Path of Self-Determination, is regarded as a cornerstone in Pan-African scholarship. In addition to his academic contributions, Professor Ojwang has served as a visiting professor at several prestigious universities across Africa, Europe, and America. A staunch advocate for Pan-Africanism, Professor Ojwang has dedicated his life to promoting African unity, cultural heritage, and self-reliance. He has been actively involved in numerous Pan-African organizations, including the African Union Council of Intellectuals and the Pan-African Congress, where he played a key role in shaping policy and strategy. His advocacy work extends beyond academia, as he regularly engages with policymakers, grassroots movements, and the broader African diaspora to foster a collective vision for Africa's liberation and development. Professor Ojwang is also a prolific writer and public intellectual who contributes regularly to leading African and international publications, where he addresses issues such as colonialism, economic independence, and cultural preservation. His vision of a united, self-sufficient Africa, deeply rooted in her rich cultural heritage and intellectual traditions, continues to guide his work and advocacy. As a leading figure and advocate of Pan-Africanism, Professor Ojwang's commitment to the struggle for African unity, justice, and dignity continues to shape a new narrative for an Africa that celebrates diversity, honors its history, and boldly envisions its future. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's African Veteran Educationist and Environmentalist Award goes to Professor Humphrey Ojwang from Kenya.
Professor Ojwang from Kenya. I request they call him the charge, Africa the charge, South African ambassador. They also request Professor Ojwang's brothers from Kenya and the sister to come and be there. Ojwang, thank you so much. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation to come here. I know at your age, you know, come from Kenya to here and you are still here. To us, it's an honor. Thank you so much.